What's going on, you guys? Paul here from BikeNerds, coming to you guys with another video and another fun little project for us to work on. I just picked this thing up about 10 minutes ago, and some of you guys are probably going to think it's lame, but me personally, I think it's freaking awesome. I mean, check that thing out. It's another fat bike. I don't know what my deal is with fat bikes lately, but they just keep falling into my lap. Anyway, I just picked this one up about, like I said, 10 minutes ago. I got it for 10 bucks. Look at it. Let's check this thing out. All right, so this is a Mongoose BmaX, and as you can see, it's got these monster fat daddy tires on it. I don't even know what size they are. It says 20 by 4 1/4. These are like motorcycle tires on this thing. And like I said, I got this thing for 10 bucks. This freaking seat and this handlebar pad is worth that alone to me. But anyway, check this thing out. I don't know what's going on with the brakes here, but it looks like, from what my spider sensors are telling me, probably their brake cable snapped, and to replace it they robbed a two-piece brake cable off of like a mountain bike and took the lever with. But anyway, this thing doesn't really need anything other than a new brake cable and just to be cleaned up a little bit. As you can see, it's got some dust and some dirt on it. But yeah, I thought it was freaking sweet, and like I said, 10 bucks, you can't beat it. So I have no idea what I'm gonna do with this thing. Like I said, my inner child saw this thing and I was like, oh my god, that's the coolest bike ever, go get it. So I went and grabbed it. I might even make another swing bike out of this thing, but either way, we got to do something with it. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and get it cleaned up, and then we're gonna go ahead and oh, this will be a good opportunity to teach you guys the ultimate brake cable hack. So yeah, this will actually be a good video, you guys, so stick around. All right, you guys, so got the bike in the wash stand, got my soapy water, got the garden hose out, and we're just gonna go ahead and give this thing a quick bath. I'm not gonna go super crazy with this one, but I am gonna clean it up. As you can see, it's a little bit muddy, you know, a little bit dirty. This thing will clean up pretty good. Anyway, I just wanted to hit you guys with a quick before. That way we can appreciate it afterwards. So like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up. And after we do that, go ahead and get started on addressing this brake cable. Yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. Alright guys, so I just finished cleaning it up, and it actually cleaned up pretty good. As you can see, got the wheels and everything nice and clean. What actually took me the longest part to clean was these freaking wheels and tires. These things are freaking huge. But anyway, you guys, now we got it all cleaned up. Let's go ahead and address that brake cable now. Alright guys, so I've relocated the bike and the stand into my garage, and it's far less windy in here. And now we'll be able to address this goofy brake cable. So let's go ahead and start by getting this lever removed and flopped over to the correct side. I'm assuming they just put this on this side because this cable was too short to put on. I don't know what. Like I said, the mind boggles when it comes to some of these people's quick fixes on their bikes, you know what I'm saying? But anyway. Alright, so first I'm going to start by pulling this lever off. Get this cable out of here if I can. Gosh, what a pain. Oh, come on, you. Alright, finally got it. A little pain in the butt. Alright, so as you guys can see, this lever has got a fair bit of weeble wobble to it because pretty much just bolts come loose. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this up real quick. Alright guys, so I got this lever all tightened up. As you can see, it's a lot better than it was. So let's go ahead and get this thing installed. Alright, cool. Now all we got to do is get a new cable put on. Alright guys, so one thing I actually failed to notice is this thing actually has cable guides ran right there. So the split brake cable housing might actually work. We just got to run a brand new cable. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that red cable housing again, because like I said, I didn't realize that it had these cable guides at first. Just something I overlooked, but yeah, I think all we're gonna need is a new cable. All right guys, so here's the red bit of cable housing. And yeah, that fits right in there, just perfect. Let's see about this one here. And this one will work just fine with that noodle. So yeah, kind of lucked out there. All we need is a new cable. We don't need to cut all that new housing and everything. So I'll go ahead and grab this. That's nice. It saves us a little bit more time and money, I guess. Yeah, this is gonna work. All right, cool. All right, so let's go ahead and get this cable installed here. Start by sticking that sucker in like that. Line up our little slot there. And boom, just like that. Let's go ahead and put in our cable guide there. Perfect. Now, before I go any further, pay attention, you guys. See this barrel adjuster here? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna back this barrel adjuster out as far as it can possibly go. Yeah, right about there. It's pretty much where it's maxing out. This is gonna help with anchoring our brake cable back there at the brakes, and it's gonna get our lever feeling absolutely perfect. And if you do this every time, your brakes are just gonna feel dialed every time. We're gonna go to the back of the bike now and anchor our cable down. So let's go ahead and do that. All right guys, so I tried to set the camera up and prop it up in a manner to where you guys get the best view of what I got going on here. But as you can see, I got the cable ran through the noodle, in through the rubber deal. I got it anchored over here. And one of the things you typically run into when you're trying to run a new cable for your brakes is getting your brake feel. You know, you typically just anchor your cable down, go up to the lever, squeeze it a few times. If it feels too soft, you come back here, re-release the cable, set it again, and then it feels too tight. So you gotta find that perfect intermediate. So what I did was I backed that barrel adjuster out at the lever as far as it could. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull this cable as tight as I can. And I'm gonna basically clamp this wheel stopped as tight as I can hold it. And I'm gonna anchor this cable right now. As you can see, the cable is anchored down. Now that we got our cable anchored down, we can go ahead and thread this barrel adjuster all the way back in. Perfect. That feels awesome. Now, keep in mind that every brake lever is different, so this might not always work out with, you know, every single lever out there, but this will always at least get you a good ballpark to start with. I just wanted to share that tip with you guys because it comes in handy. All right, so as of now, this brake is feeling really good. I'm gonna see if I can make it feel a little better though by giving it just a little dab of some Tri-Flow. Seems to be gliding a lot smoother now. Let's also do the same up here to this front part. Just go and pop it right back into place where they go. That feels a lot better. Just by moving that cable up. I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple drops actually on these pivots themselves. All right, so I went ahead and lubed up the cable and the housing and the brake mounts with some Tri-Flow. And these brakes are feeling buttery right now. That feels amazing. just to get them working a little bit better, I'm going to go ahead and dial these in a little bit. That feels awesome. So I'm just going to roll with that. I'm going to go ahead and snip the rest of this cable off now. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and pull this kickstand off because I don't want another. Sweet. Alright, I'd say the brakes are working pretty good. That's a heavy wheel to be trying to stop too. Alright, brakes are working mint. I don't know why, but I kind of want to pull these reflectors off of it. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull these reflectors off of it too. I don't know why, but it's got 3 reflectors on it. I guess you need 3 reflectors with this bad boy. Starting to look more like a BMX bike already. So there's just one more reflector here on the handlebars. I'm going to yank this one off too. I remember as a kid, that was like the first thing we did when we got a new bike. Was the first thing we did was we removed the reflectors and the chain guard, and of course the kickstand if it came with it. Yeah. Now this thing's looking like a serious BMX machine. Alright, so what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and adjust these handlebars. As you can see, they're kind of pitched back a little bit, so I'm going to adjust those. And their front wheels also kind of crooked a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and take care of that real quick. Ooh, that one wasn't even tight. Then neither was that one, huh? I typically like running my handlebars like parallel with the fork. Everybody's different. Plus you can always make corrections after you ride it. Feels pretty good. We'll go ahead and straighten these handlebars out. Right about there, looks good. That feels pretty good. Alright, so this seat is also a little bit crooked, and plus I also don't like the way it's kind of pitched down, so I'm going to go ahead and adjust the seat real quick, just to kind of give it that BMX attitude. Yeah, right about there looks good. Right about there looks real good. Alright you guys, it's pretty much ready to go. This thing's freaking sweet. Alright, so at this point we got this thing pretty much dialed and ready to go. Granted, it didn't need too much. All we really did was gave it a nice bath, put a new brake cable on it, and just went through and gave it a quick tune-up and dialed everything in. And like I said, this thing is actually a pretty sweet looking bike after all. Granted, it is a heavy bike, but to be honest with you, it's really not too much heavier than like the mid-school tanks that we used to ride in like the late 90s and the early 2000s, but I digress. But I guess there's only one real thing left to do now. Let's go and give this thing a ride. Alright guys, so I'm just out cruising this thing around, and like I said, this thing is a really fun bike to ride. Granted, like I said, it's a heavy bike, but it feels nice and solid. These big old tires, they just roll. I said probably 80% of the weight of this bike is in the wheels and tires. Well, other than that, so far, I like it. It's a nice riding bike. Keep just cruising. Oh, I was right there. Tell you what, for being such a heavy bike, these wide tires make this thing pretty easy to manual. All right, so I'm just guessing at this point because I don't have a scale here, but I'm assuming that this bike probably weighs close to 40 pounds. Probably, yeah, I would say between 35 and 40 pounds. It could even weigh more, but like I said, I do not have a scale here. Anyway, the curiosity got the best of me, and I busted out this bunny hop station that I made probably, I don't know, 20 some years ago. I've had this thing around for a very long time, but I want to see just how high, and I'm not gonna like push my limits or anything like that, but I'm just curious to see if and how high I can bunny hop this thing. So I've currently got the bar set, and the top of the bar is pretty much at 1 foot. We'll go from there. All right, you guys, so for the sake of safety, I went and put my helmet on. Let's see if we can bunny hop this thing over a 1 foot bar. There's one. All right, so we got 1 foot. Let's go up 1 notch. Nice. All right, so according to the stick here, that was 13. Now at 15. It's getting harder every second. Got it. So the next one up says 17. I doubt I'll be able to get this. That's a pretty big hop for a bike of this stature. Oh my God! First try. All right, moving up. This says 19. According to the bar, this is 19. According to the measuring tapes, we're at 20. So, let's try it out. If I can get this, you guys, I think I'm gonna call it at 20. If I can even get this, I think I'm gonna call it. Oh. I thought I had it, you guys. That one felt good, but just couldn't get that back tire over. My tire clipped it. My tire clipped it, but I made it. I didn't knock the bar over, you guys, so I don't know if I should count that. Should I count that? Like I said, I felt my tire tap it, and I could hear my tire tap it, but I don't know. The bar is still standing, so I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judge. Oh, jeez, oh Pete. I'm gonna try to get that clean. I know I can do it. Like I said, I got it again, but I think I felt my tire tap it. Yeah, if my tire's tapping at 20, I don't think I'll be able to go up anymore. And plus, you know, one of my biggest concerns is this old school freaking quill stem. Back in the day, these things would separate right here and you just rip the whole handlebars off. So I'm not trying to do that, you guys, but yeah, I was just more or less curious to see if and how high I could bunny hop this thing, but it's doable. I'm just an old man, so you know, I only got so much in me. All right, so there it is, you guys, the Mongoose BmaX 20-inch fat tire BMX bike. Now granted, like I said, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this thing or why I even bought it. This was a fun little bike to ride, and like I said, I was able to teach you guys the ultimate in brake cable hacks. So, but anyway, I think that's going to do it for this one, you guys. If you guys haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps us out. We just broke 200 subscribers with the last video, so I'm hoping we can get closer to 500 maybe in the next few videos. So like I said, if you subscribe, it really helps out. But in the meantime, this is Paul from BikeNerds signing out, and I'll see you in the next one.